say anything about that, but that popped in my head. Just like you did. I should. Yeah, I did.
It's on.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a plan B, so.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Donna Boland, and I have the privilege of being a co-advisor of NHS with Mrs. Deborah Parker. It is our honor to welcome you to the 2021 Burlington High School National Honor Society induction ceremony. I am speaking on behalf of our teaching staff, our administration, Mr. Stacy Reed and Mr. Dave Watkins, our superintendent, Mr. Craig Marshall, and the members of the Board of Education. We are pleased that the NHS organization offers this occasion in order to honor these young men and women for their accomplishments, as well as to honor and thank you, their families, for all of the support that you have given them throughout the years. Out of my glasses, hold on a second. All right. In 1921, the National Association of Secondary Principals officially established the National Honor Society. According to the NHS Constitution, its purpose is to create enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to render service, to promote leadership, and to develop character in the students of secondary schools. These are the goals that members and advisors of National Honor Society chapters here and across the nation are still striving to pursue. Again, welcome to this evening's program. Seth Jarvis is the president of NHS. He is currently participating in a virtual seminar with the U.S. Senate Youth Program and is unable to attend at this time. He is one of 2 delegates chosen to represent Kansas at this event. If we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, he would be in Washington, D.C. right now, instead of participating virtually. Congratulations to Seth, and it is now my privilege to turn the ceremonies over to NHS Vice President Jacob Dugar.
Good evening and welcome. As you just heard Mrs. Parker say, the National Honor Society is a national organization established to recognize outstanding high school students sponsored by the National Association of Secondary Principals. It is more than just an honor roll. National Honor Society serves to honor those students who have demonstrated excellence in the areas of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. These characteristics have been associated with membership in the organization since its beginning in 1921. Membership in this organization not only honors students for their many accomplishments, it challenges them to develop through active involvement in school and community projects. National Honor Society at BHS has been documented since 1982. To begin tonight's ceremony, I would like to recognize our current members. Due to the pandemic and the need to social distance, the current members are not present tonight, but we welcome you via the live stream. For seniors, we have Trevin Myers, our Stuco rep, Sam Griffin, our treasurer, Taven Allen, Gracie Becker, Aiden Caldwell, Nick Davies, Emily Furman, Sierra Haddock, Chrissy Hall, Gloriana Hammy, Alicia Hernandez, Carson Hess, John Howard, Briley Huber, Allison Schneider, Braden Sloyer, Libby Stedell, Drew Thorpe, and Micah Watkins. For juniors, we have Paige Akers, Harley Alford, Ty Anderson, Cooper Carlson, Paige Dietrich, Cadence Devley, Derek Jesse, McKenna Klubeck, Max Kuhlman, Sage Kuhlman, Miranda Meets, Catherine Rohr, Josie Stedell, Madeline Turner, Jamie Wagner, Carly Whitworth, and Emma Young. Each year, a select group of students are invited to join NHS. Much of the selection is based on whole person values. The following traits are linked directly to the eternal light of knowledge, exemplified by the lit white candle. Surrounding the light of knowledge are 4 qualities held in high esteem by the National Honor Society. The other officers will review these qualities for the candidates. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended. Knowledge is the one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensation or without recognition, is the quality that we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and our abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership. Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward with others when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are, in effect, without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantial charge to each of our members and the candidates.
Character. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It affords to each one individually. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, sincerity, and sincerely, and we hope to prove by example that we value character.
We will now induct our new members. Please hold your applause until all are recognized. Raven Allen. Casey Bland. Elliot Burns. Abby Crutchfield. Michelle Duvall. Josie Favor. Allie Finnerty. Kylie Garner. Madison Hawley. Grant Heck. Rachel Hernandez. Ella Herman. Cadence Ish. Maggie Jarvis. Kiana Langton. Cody Wong. Gabrielle Lyons. Casey Marchant. Kennedy Newman. Eric Pavone. Bryce Bridget. Hayden Sides. Samuel Smith. Tucker Williams. Wyatt Wilson. And Harley Young. service members will now join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. And will maintain and encourage. High standards of leadership, scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Please join me in welcoming our new inductees. And now I will hand this over to NHS President Seth Jarvis. You may take your seats now. It is now my pleasure to introduce the principal of Burlington High School, Mr. Stacy Reed.
Thank you, Seth. Glad you can make it. Once again, congratulations to this year's new members. I challenge each of you to become active participants of this society. Congratulations as well to the other members of NHS for all of your hard work and success. Congratulations and thanks also go out to the parents and families of all of the members. Without your constant exonerations and encouragement, these students would not have achieved this milestone. It has long been a tradition at BHS to have a faculty member address the students at NHS, the introductory ceremony. This year, our members have invited Mr. Bart Kuhlman to be our speaker. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Kuhlman to the podium to share some thoughts with us.
Okay, I'll do a speech just to get this mask off. Good deal. Can you hear me? You never know how close you got to get to this thing before, as you give a speech. Okay, and before Ms. Boland and Mr. Reed can go click, your speech is too long, I do want to say one thing. I've given several of these. I tend to get a little misty-eyed once in a while because I believe in this stuff so much. But I've also found that if I tell the crowd that, then usually I don't get misty-eyed and things go okay. So I'm going to try that trick tonight. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Boland, Mr. Reed, Ms. Parker, NHS President Seth Jarvis, hello, and members and new inductees of NHS. Candidates and members of NHS, you are here today because people in your life believe you possess and have demonstrated on numerous times these 4 critical skills / talents / characteristics that are needed in NHS. Those are, of course, emphasized by these candles here: character, scholarship, leadership, and service. I'm not going to focus so much on these 4 pillars, though. Rather, I'd like to work on 2 other elements that I feel are incredibly important to develop and take with you on your journey through life. One element, of course, happens to be, a long time ago, inducted it into my own Hall of Fame words. And that word is grit. Researchers, professors, company owners, people who depend on other people to come in and do a job right, will tell you it's not about looks, it's not about IQ, it's not about social intelligence, it's not about health and fitness that generally makes the best employee and student. It is the people that have the stuff called grit. To me, grit is like an oath to yourself that becomes most important thing in your life. Grit will form your mindset, your work ethic, your values. Grit is the will to find a way. Grit gives you a chance when there is seemingly no chance. Grit develops your inner strength, and it drives you when you need to go out and fight the good fight. Grit is courage, resilience, passion, perseverance, and another one of my favorite words, tenacity. You take those 5 words and you've got grit. You've got a powerful concoction of willpower, perpetual energy, belief in oneself, and a whole lot of I'm never going to give up. You got grit, you got something. Oftentimes it's easier to spot grit in the sporting world, as athletes constantly push the limits of their cardiovascular system, their body parts, and their mental toughness. They do things like run 10Ks and half marathons and full marathons as fast as they can. But it is also the wrestler who scraps at the end of a match and gets an escape or a pin to win. It's that pulling guard in football that has to take on that linebacker at full speed. It's the volleyballer that dives to prevent a kill. It's the basketball player that takes the charge. It's the diving catches in baseball and softball. And it's the sprinter, the person that sprints to the finish when they've got nothing left in track and cross country. They all show grit, young people. But grit is also that kid who didn't have supper last night and no breakfast this morning and still made it to class to make something of themselves. That's grit. Sorry. It is the parent that is up all night working with a sick child and still shows up to work the next day to work a shift to get a paycheck. It is the healthcare person staring down at a deadly disease to help someone try to survive. It's the police person, the military person, the first responder person, the firefighter person that protects us all at their expense, day and night, night and day. That is grit. Grit is the person that sees defeat at the door and says, not today. I like to say, when everyone else seems to have an advantage on you, if you have grit, you actually have the superpower of all us ordinary people. When it's time to go to work, when it's time to get after it, it is grit time. Excuse me. This is a fall. In my, there we go. This is my art, JC. Okay. By the way, when it's time to go to work, when it's time to get after it, it is grit time. And that is the other word that I want to refer to tonight. Take a look at grit and time and see how it bonds, how it welds. The I, T from grit, the T, I from time. Isn't that cool? It's time to separate them a little bit, though, and I'll tell you why. When it's time to go to work, I've already done that. You need to be careful with grit. Sometimes grit can be mistaken for workaholic. Sometimes grit can be mistaken for OCD or CDO if you need the letters in line. Sometimes grit just eats up all the time. So for a while, I want you to take grit and time and split it. I would argue that many people that are workaholics really are not workaholics. They simply have met the love of their life and want to be surrounded by it as much as possible. So remember this phrase: if you love what you do, you never work a day of your life. Think about that. The grit is so demanding at times, it can consume you. I challenge you not to let it. Time is too precious. Life is too precious. So candidates and members, my wish for you is this: have grit, but find time. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you studied and admired a waterfall? The last time you watched a wild animal in its own habitat? The last time you took 10 minutes and watched the moon actually rise? When is the last time you studied the smile of a child with missing teeth or an infant's look of wonderment? When's the last time you visited with an elderly person? I'm getting choked up there because I've become an elderly person. When's the last time you played catch with a kid? Rode a bike? When have you taken time to walk down a stream? Run in the rain? Walk the block and pick up trash with your kids? When is the last time you watched a meteor shower? How about caught a fish? Have a life talk with someone you love. When's the last time you immersed yourself and watched a powerful thunderstorm come in? When have you camped overnight? When have you saw a star first disappear in the evening sky? I challenge you to do that. I have yet to find anybody that's really saw a star show up. Think about that. All these nights of your life, have you really ever seen a star appear? How about listen to the background music in cool country, rock, or hip-hop songs? When is the last time you waddled in the mud with a kid? Sled down a snow-covered hill? How about listen to a pack of coyotes howl for a while? When's the last time you held an elderly person's hand? Happens every time. When is the last time you simply dropped a tear because you found out you're surrounded by love? Have you noticed I have not made one mention of us using our phones to text, to email, to watch TikTok or Snapchat or social media? When we all know that what these things have done to our time and what we are missing, and what we are missing was just listed for you. The overall point is this, young people. Our busy lives may help us get ahead in life, but often at the cost of not living life to its fullest. There is grit time, but there is also simple time. If you can find the balance of these two, you have the opportunity to move your life from ordinary to extraordinary. And when you run into a fork in the road, choose the one that leads to the kingdom of awesome. Why? Because you have proven you have the keys that will unlock that door. Young people, find grit, be grit, find time, but you be the time. Thank you.
Go off script real quick. I've known Mr. 36 years. Didn't even teach with him ever in my life until I became the principal here. But I've known him for that long, and I know the passion that he truly has for you guys, and I know the passion that our staff has for you guys, and the passion you guys show for getting yourselves to the point that you're at tonight. And I know that you're going to move forward as life progresses here. And grit will take you a long way, but I'm more intrigued about the word time that he gave. And I hope that that goes with you tonight as you think about it. I will tell him that I've seen a star. Because he and I live across the street, and my wife and he get together in the middle of our street once in a while to gaze at those stars. And so I know all about that. And so I want you guys to know that I think that's a pretty important thing as well. Again, thank you, Mr. Kuhlman, for those words of wisdom. I think they're very, very good for this group of individuals as we proceed. Thank you, NHS members and parents, for attending this evening's celebration. I'm so proud of each and every one of you guys. In just a moment, we all need all the new inductees to come to the stage for a group picture. So as soon as we're done, I want you guys to come up here so that we can take a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice, great evening and a nice drive home, and drive home safely. At this time, it ends our NHS ceremonies.